Hi everybody, this is Josh with Resort TV 1. Today we're exploring Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom. We hope you enjoy the video. This is the sign that you see when you enter the land, giving you a detailed overview of the land itself. And this is a really fun squirting plant life that actually, if you tickle the side of it, it actually squirts water out. The really neat thing about Pandora is that you'll see a mix of real plant life that obviously can be found here on Earth, and then you'll see some alien type plant life mixed in, and it's really neat the way that they have juxtaposed those two things together. As you can see, the little blue knobby looking plants there that are alien plants, and those actually light up at night. And there's lots of water, just like you saw on Pandora in the movie. There's a lot of water here in the land here at Animal Kingdom as well, and it ties in really well to the landscaping and the lush landscape that Disney has created here. And there you're going to start to see glimpses of the famous floating islands, which are breathtaking to see in person. Before we do that, we're going to take a look at the line. This is opening day, and so the line to Na'vi River Journey was almost 200 minutes long and stretched almost back to the front of the land. Here you'll see the restroom area, which I thought was neat because it looks like an old bunker. And back out to the floating islands. And as I said before, these floating islands are breathtaking. It's just amazing how Disney was able to engineer this to really look as real as possible. And it is a bright day still. I apologize for the sun there, but just wanted to give you several different angles on these floating islands here. There you can see there's a few waterfalls coming out of the floating islands that make it very pretty as well, and we'll look at those in a minute. This cage-like thing, I'm not sure exactly what it is, some type of a Na'vi sculpture, but it's really neat as well. And this is the actual entrance to the Na'vi River Journey boat ride, which is a breathtaking experience as well. You can't see the times there, but I believe at this time it was about 190 minutes. And this is opening day again, so the crowds are pretty high. And even behind the Na'vi River Journey, the building, to cover up the building there, they've got the floating islands and things. And here's some of the landscaping with, again, real earth plants as well as the alien plants in front of the Na'vi River Journey area. Looking over towards the waterfall again and some of the floating islands. And a lot of these things light up at night. The fuchsia pinkish colored alien plants there do light up at night, as well as some of the other alien plants. And here's a much better look at the waterfall area, and you can just see all the detail put in with the roots and the different vegetation hanging off the floating islands, as well as the waterfalls themselves. Even the area around the waterfalls is very well landscaped, where the waterfalls come into the pools of water there. And we're still looking at the area around the Na'vi River Journey boat ride. This is close to the exit of the ride. And again, the pathways are just so lush. It reminds me of the old Polynesian resort Grand Ceremonial House, with the exception of the fact that there's the alien vegetation and stuff like that to make it obviously look more like Pandora than a rainforest type of a setting. Just different angles of the floating islands here again. The amount of detail is just amazing. And here is the actual exit to the Na'vi River Journey boat ride, as I mentioned before. And this is the bridge that visitors take when they exit the Na'vi River Journey boat ride, which goes over a very lush area with water on both sides, little ponds filled with alien vegetation and things like that. And another angle of the floating islands, as well as the main couple of waterfalls here in the area. This waterfall area is very much like one of the centerpieces of the whole land. see even just around where the waterfall lands, it's very well landscaped, like I mentioned before. That's the bridge we were on just a few seconds ago that leads to the exit to Navi River Journey boat ride. And as we head over from the waterfall towards the floating islands again, you'll see that the floating islands themselves actually add some shade for guests, which is very nice. And this is another bridge that leads from the middle of the floating island section back to the front of the land. Really pretty pools of water on both sides. Here's some views of the underside of the floating islands, and just so detailed with all the roots and plant life and the way that they're held together. That large building in the background that's hidden by rockwork and lots of lush vegetation is the Flight of Passage, which we'll look at in a little bit more detail in a couple minutes. And the alien vegetation, again, like I said before, does light up at night with the bioluminescent effect, which is really cool. This is another waterfall that's adjacent to the larger, taller waterfall that we looked at earlier. It's just really peaceful to stand here and listen to the water, as well as the sound effects that I'm sure you've been enjoying throughout the video of the nighttime cricket-type noises. That does play during the day, but it's a lot more effective at night, and it's really neat. Gives a very neat ambiance to the area. And again, you can see the mix of real plant life and alien plant life with the waterfall as a backdrop there. More of the alien plant life that lights up at night again. And back to the floating islands again. Now let's take a look. This is across from that waterfall that we were just showing a minute ago. The Flight of Passage building, it's very large, and the queue goes and stretches in front of it, and you can see a waterfall there in the background. And we'll get a close-up here. And that's guests actually walk in front of that as they are in the queue for the ride, so it's really well-landscaped area that leads to, I'm sure, an enjoyable queuing experience. However, the queue for Flight of Passage, as I mentioned, was over 250 minutes at one point today on opening day. And just the size and scale of these floating islands in this area is something you almost just have to see for yourself to really understand the scale of. There's another look at the Flight of Passage building from a little bit further back so that you can see, again, just how large that area is as well. And more alien plant life. Now here's where some of the floating islands are kind of anchored and rooted. And you can see it kind of goes all the way across here from where the queue comes across from Flight of Passage all the way to the actual entrance right here to Flight of Passage. You can see there is a single rider. I didn't try that, so I don't know how long that takes, but that is at least an option. You can see again the shade created by the floating islands there, which is very nice, especially on a hot day like today. This is the exit to the Flight of Passage, which looks like the old outpost or bunker with the moss on the walls and the partially destructed concrete. It's very neat theming there. And just another look at the bunker area again, which is the exit to Flight of Passage. Now we're going to head over here towards Wind Traders. which is the main shop in Pandora, and you can get a Banshee here, which is the main attraction there to that store. But there was such a huge line for the store that I didn't actually get a chance to go in. It was, I think, over an hour wait just to get into the store because the Banshees were so popular. And this actually is the line for the store that I was just looking at there a second ago. And now this is Satuli Canteen, which is the main restaurant in Pandora. And there's an outdoor eating area here, which is really well decorated. And then we'll move inside and look at the indoor eating area, and you can see a lot of the Na'vi artifacts and artwork that really add to the ambiance of the area. And one of the cast members explained to me these net-like structures at the ceiling here are actually basically hammocks for the Na'vi families to sleep in. And the cast member explained to me that Na'vi families sleep together, so some of the larger hammocks were actually for whole families to sleep together. This looks like a flame type of a rotisserie here, which looks really appetizing. I didn't get to try the food, but I'm definitely going to next time, and it looks really, really good from what I could see. And just looking out over this building, again, this is inside, and you can see the hammocks and all the different things hanging from the ceiling to add to the decoration, the Na'vi style decoration. This is a fairly large building, so of course it was crowded when I was there, but it was fairly large. And you can see a lot of the rock work here. It almost looks like you're on Tatooine in Star Wars, which I thought was pretty neat. Kind of a comparison to different alien planets there. Now we'll head back outside to the outside eating area just to give you another angle at it. And there's a restroom over there, which is convenient. And this is right next to Satuli Canteen. This is a drink station right next to that AMP suit that we just saw. Pangu Pangu, I think, is the name of it. There's the edge of the land here, but you see the RDA sign, which is neat theming there. We're kind of making a circle here at Pandora. Pandora is laid out in a circle, so we'll end up back where we started here in just a few minutes. And you could see throughout the video the crowds on opening day. I wanted to make sure and show because, of course, people were excited, so it is fairly crowded, but it's a beautiful day, so great day for taking videos of such an amazing area that Disney's created for us. And there are two entries and exits to Pandora. They were only allowing people to enter one way by Pizzafari, but actually, well, this is actually the line to Flight of Passage there, but actually, this particular walkway goes all the way to Africa and ends up right by Festival of the Lion King. So they were only allowing people to exit that way on opening day, and I don't know if they'll change that depending on crowds, but that was an interesting little tidbit there. The only entrance was Pizzafari, and you could also exit that way, but then you could only exit in Africa. You could not enter there. I'll show you different angles here again of the floating islands as we wrap around back towards the front of the area. Some of the amazing vegetation. There you can see the waterfall a little bit from the distance there. And this is the main performance area where they do kind of a drumming show where the audience actually gets to participate. And these drums, when you hit them, they actually have speakers that make the sound even louder than what it is when you actually hit the drum. Alright guys, well that about wraps it up here from Pandora. We appreciate you watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure you leave a comment and let us know what you thought and when you're planning on visiting Pandora. Thanks for watching. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.